Okay, so today we're going to talk to you about the eBay and PayPal 21-day hold policy. I'll briefly explain what it is. Basically, eBay claims that for certain high-risk categories, or for new sellers, or for people with low DSR scores, that they're going to hold your money for 21 days to make sure that the transaction is successful and the buyer is happy. Is this necessary? We all know the buyer is more than adequately protected, to the point where buyers can basically blackmail sellers into renegotiating deals after they win an auction or offering free shipping with the threat of getting bad feedback if you don't, kind of kowtow to their demands. It's also not uncommon for someone to say an item wasn't received. Delivery confirmation doesn't seem to be enough for eBay, and it's not that uncommon for someone to be able to keep your item and keep their money. So we all know buyers are more than adequately protected. This isn't necessary. What is this policy about? I don't have anything to back this up besides common sense, but eBay and PayPal, they're obviously not going to make windfall profits from interest off my $1,200 they're holding for 21 days. However, when you have tens, if not hundreds of thousands of users, and you're holding anywhere from a couple hundred to tens of thousands of dollars from all those people, that definitely is going to add up. And I think they're making money off holding our money for 21 days. They make it really difficult to find out how to get this money released, and they make the process a real headache in doing so. This is an inconvenience for sellers, and I'll tell you why that is. I'm just going to try to give you a brief, simple example. Let's say a seller buys $1,000 worth of merchandise to sell on eBay. Just to keep the numbers simple, off that $1,000, they're going to make $100 profit. Now we all know that with eBay fees, this isn't feasible, but just to keep the numbers simple, that's the numbers we're working with. So you buy $1,000 worth of merchandise, you sell it on eBay, you make $100 profit, so you got $1,100 sitting in your PayPal account. Well, guess what? You can't touch that money for 21 days. So if you want to sell more stuff and make more money, you're going to have to go out and buy another $1,000 worth of merchandise with your own money. You're going to sell that, make $100, so now you got $2,200 trapped in your PayPal account, and you probably got another 17 days until that hold is released. So if you want to sell more stuff and make more money, what are you going to do? You're going to go drop another $1,000. So now you're $3,000 in from buying merchandise. Once that sells, you got that $3,000 plus you got the $300 you made in profit, again tied up in PayPal, and you probably got another 2 weeks until that hold is released. So you can see what an inconvenience this is to sellers. Also, unless you got a huge bankroll to kind of continue buying merchandise, you're basically going to be forced to sit on the sidelines and wait for that money to be freed up to sell more stuff. And also, I guess how this policy is implemented, they seem to kind of pick and choose who they want to use this policy against. There's people with great feedback who've been on eBay for years who are still having holds placed on their account. And obviously a buyer doesn't need to be protected from somebody like that who already has a good reputation. So the policy doesn't seem to be implemented with any rhyme or reason except for maybe giving more business to power sellers who are selling crap, which is in a sense ruining eBay, since you look through eBay for unique items like you used to, and all you see is 10 pages of the same stock photo for these Chinese drop sellers crap. But I guess we'll move on to how you get these funds released. Basically, to get the funds released, one of two things needs to happen. Either the buyer needs to leave you positive feedback. If you sell on eBay with any regularity, very few people leave positive feedback. However, at the smallest problem, people love to leave negative feedback. So it's hard to build a good DSR score. And also, I would say out of every 10 transactions, maybe one person leaves feedback. So getting your funds released through getting good feedback isn't something you're going to want to count on. I normally wait a few days. I'll leave the buyer good feedback. Still don't get positive feedback myself. I'll often send them a message and say, I hope you're happy with your purchase. If you're happy with the purchase, please leave me some positive feedback. I'd appreciate it. Again, people don't leave feedback, so you can't count on feedback to get those funds released. So the other, way to get the funds released is if you used a tracking number, which you should use on all your eBay transactions. Once the item shows delivered, from that point, within 3 days, PayPal should release those funds to you. Now the problem is eBay and PayPal make this a huge pain in the ass to do. Again, if you sell on eBay with any regularity, I'm sure you know PayPal and eBay are essentially the same company. eBay owns PayPal. They're linked up in every way there is. eBay and PayPal work in conjunction to put holds on your account and hold your money. when you buy an item, you can pay through eBay with your PayPal account, so they're linked up with in that sense. As a seller, when you print shipping, you're able to print shipping through eBay, and the money is taken out of your PayPal account. So basically what I'm trying to show here is that eBay and PayPal are linked up in almost every way possible, except releasing your funds. Now, when you sell an item and print your shipping through eBay, the tracking number shows up in eBay, so both you and the buyer can see it. What doesn't happen is that eBay does not share that tracking info with PayPal. Like I said, they're linked up in every other way, so why they don't share this information is basically just to make it more difficult for you to get your own money. What you're going to need to do is actually log into your PayPal account, and where you can view your, payment history or payment received history and see the names of all the people who paid, the amounts, and everything like that. There should be a tab, and if you like, you can actually totally bypass eBay and print your labels directly through PayPal. However, I don't believe that's going to enter that tracking number in eBay, and you'd have to manually go back into eBay and enter that information so you and your buyer could see it, and so it's linked up with your eBay account. What you're going to need to do if you've already printed your shipping through eBay is go into PayPal, look at your payments received history, and kind of go line by line and match up the eBay transaction and tracking number with the PayPal payment received. There should be a drop-down box, and you're going to click that and click track or track item or something like that. When you click that, it's going to give you the option to select UPS or USPS, United States Postal Service. Whatever method you shipped, select that and enter your tracking number, and then click shipped. And basically by doing that, you're entering that tracking info into PayPal. Now you would think once you enter that tracking info into PayPal, within 3 days they should release the funds. Yeah, guess what? They don't release the funds. So what you're going to need to do, even though you followed all their policies and done everything needed to release the funds, you are actually going to have to call PayPal up on the phone, sit on hold, wait to talk to a PayPal representative, and then go line item by line item, telling them the eBay transaction number, the user, the amount of funds you received, and tell them the day that it was delivered. And as you go down the line, they'll start freeing up those transactions. If you did happen to receive any positive feedback, that's also a way to free up transactions, so let the PayPal representative know about that. But basically the point here being that eBay and PayPal are linked up in every way there is to be linked up. However, the one piece of information they don't share is a piece of information that will release your 21-day hold and let you access your funds quicker, which will in turn let you buy more merchandise and continue selling. Basically, the more you sell, the more money eBay makes. So why they make sellers jump through these hurdles and make it difficult on people is beyond me. But like I said, I think they're making a lot of interest money off this kind of float account they're holding this money in. But that's how you get the funds released. If you have any other questions or any comments on this, leave a comment below the video. I would have loved to have actually shown you how to go through the steps of actually doing this within your PayPal and eBay account. But I don't really know how to kind of block things out on video, and I don't want to show all my customers and all my clients info through my PayPal account when I'm showing you how to do things. So if you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll respond to it.